Again, everybody, and welcome to the Sports Box, where the only opinion that matters right here. It's right.
We can't have nice things on the Sports Box.
I get so heated up for this show. It's unbelievable. I am Mike Galetta, aka Hamilton Mike, along with my partner Brian, the Ranger Tard, with another NFL special. 32 fans of 32 NFL teams. Today we are in the AFC West to talk about the Oakland Raiders. And thank God Al Davis is gone. Yes, I said it. I think that team is headed for good and better things. And we're going to talk to the man who thinks he's going to get in that direction today, Ron Dorsey. Ron, thank you for coming on the show today.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Because we only get winners here. So that's it. So let's talk a little Raiders. Brian Stat.
The Oakland Raiders. So they finished 7-9 last season. They finished third place in the AFC West behind two really good teams in Denver and Kansas City. Did not make the playoffs. Offensively, they were 28th in rushing, but a surprising 16th in passing. Defensively, they were good against the run, 13th in the league. Not that great against the pass, 26th. They tried to address that in the draft. They took safety Carl Joseph out of West Virginia, 14th overall. Again, looking to fix that pass defense as best that they can. They're active in free agency. Picked up Kalichi Osemele, Sean Smith, and Bruce Irvin. A couple defensive players in there. But again, they were a pleasant surprise last season. Derek Carr had a Pro Bowl season in just his second year. That bodes very well for the future. Rookie receiver Amari Cooper, 1,000 yards. Sky-high expectations for him this year, especially in the fantasy football world as well. Latavius Murray also had 1,000 yards on the ground, but the running game ended up being close to the bottom of the league. I don't think they really had a lot of help for him there. But the expectations are, as Mike said, that the Raiders should take the next step. They went into free agency, added there, and I think they're looking forward to hopefully a better result than last year. So, Ron, a lot of young players and a lot of skill positions. It's a lot to be excited about. What are you getting fired up for at the end of the season? Who's exciting you?
I think pretty much our draft. I like the guy what's his name?
Carl Joseph.
Carl Joseph. I think he fits the Oakland Raiders perfectly. If you put his highlight tape, he goes around, he hits people all over the place. If you go back and you see the old Oakland Raiders tapes, they do the same thing. I think with the draft, they picked up a steal. Like you said with the offensive lineman, I think right now with him, we have one of the best offensive lines in the NFL. We're big, and I think that's going to help the rushing numbers that's helped from last year. Yeah,
I think defensively their biggest struggle was, again, against the pass. I mean, there weren't that many games where they were out of it. And again, with a guy like Carr and a couple weapons in Cooper and Crabtree on the outside, they're able to stay in games. But again, the running attack just didn't really provide them, I think, what they needed, even though Murray played well. Do you see that continuing? Do you see Murray taking a step forward?
I think with the offensive line, he's going to take a step forward. But I think a lot of times he'll break off a long run, and then the next play he's on the sideline. He's hurt or something. He has to stay on the field for us to be good. He has to. Like I said, our offensive line is going to be real good. We got Crabtree and Cooper on the outside. And look out for our tight end, too. Our tight end is going to be, I think his name's Wilford or something like that. He's going to be a good addition this year.
Now, I'm going to say the offense, I like the Oakland Raiders for the big three, I call them. You got Carr, Murray, and you got Cooper. Solid base right there. You got a good wide receiver, solid running back, and a quarterback. In the other sense of it, Joseph was a good pick at safety. I think Oakland needed to address a lot of needs of defense. I think, though, they probably should have maybe went for a defensive end or a linebacker first. I think the linebacker core is a little light, and I think they need a little bit more pressure off the end. Is there anybody you see that is going to surprise this year and get off the end for the Raiders?
Well, I like Bruce Irving and Khalil Mack on the end right now. You put them two together, I think they're going to wreak havoc in the backfield. Also, our middle linebackers, you're right, our middle linebackers are weak, a little weak. We have to develop them, and hopefully they'll step up this year.
You just got to hope they don't go the other way and they work on the secondary and their secondary gets better, but then people start to run on them.
Starts to run on them, exactly.
Then they go back to square one again. I do hate that. Sorry to cut you off. I hate to say about the Al Davis thing. I think Al Davis was honestly holding them back. It was kind of a sense where they would be headed in the right direction and wanting to draft the guy, but then he would nix it and they would go back in reverse again. They're not, folks, they're not the Cleveland of the league anymore. And we have Mike Henschel on the other day. We're not the Cleveland anymore in the league. I think Oakland is definitely headed in the right direction and can make some noise this year in that division.
The one kind of thing that's kind of overhanging on this team is, I think, where they're going to play. I mean, there's this talk of them possibly going to Las Vegas, or maybe I think sharing the Rams stadium in LA. Yeah, I mean, they're the only team left that I believe that still plays with a baseball team.
Yeah.
In the same stadium. I mean, is from what you've been made. I mean, is there anything that you think is going to keep this team in Oakland long term? Do you foresee potentially a move for this team? Like, I mean, they move all the time.
They move all the time.
Do you perceive
really
another one?
I think it's going to happen.
Okay.
All the stuff that I'm reading, you really don't get a lot of support from people in Oakland, but the fans are one of the best fans out there. So
right.
I don't understand how. Yeah, they're dedicated. So I don't understand what's going on there. But I just don't think it sounds right. Las Vegas Raiders. It just doesn't really have a real touch to it right there. So
people didn't like the St. Louis Rams either when they went to St. Louis.
Right.
Either. But I mean,
you're right.
You know, in this day and age, in any kind of sport, you build a big stadium for somebody. The revenue's there. I mean, the NFL's printing money already, but you get those boxes, you get all that new cash, that new team, that fresh there, and you know, and especially moving out of Oakland again. Oakland and the Rams, I mean, they've been jumped around so many times to try to get those markets pumping again, and they just keep trying to do it. Now they're moving them out of Oakland again, but I think the Vegas thing will happen in the next 4 to 5 years.
It would be ironic if they go back with the Rams again in LA. LA had no teams, have 2 teams.
Why? I mean, with the NFL nowadays, like you're printing money, why would you share a stadium? I mean, it's just it's crazy.
Yeah.
So, you got any details?
No, I know talk about the schedule.
Okay, yeah, let's go to the schedule. You know, Oakland with their schedule, I mean, they did finish third in the AFC West last year.
Tough division.
Tough division. You got Jacksonville, which I think is going to be the sleeper this year. You got those always tough Buccaneers. I mean, going to Tampa, I mean, what the hell? That's you could buckle up for that game in itself. But anyway, you know, you got Carolina on your schedule. The AFC West is tough. You got Denver at the end of the year in Denver. You know, doesn't lay favors for Oakland. They do have unremarkably 4 in a row. Home against Denver, home against Houston, home against Carolina, home against Buffalo. Whoever made schedule for Oakland, a little home cooking for them, so that's going to be a stretch where they're going to need to win all those games, but the Carolina game's going to be tough.
Me personally, I think we have to jump on them early.
Absolutely.
I think early in our schedule is kind of weak. I think if
Saints, Falcons,
first
Tennessee,
6 games in the schedule, I think if we jump on them, then we can be all right for the second half of the season.
Those are 5 very winnable games to start the season.
Really are.
But I think you're going to learn a lot about this team in that stretch that you mentioned. All those home games, those are home games against very good teams. Again, Denver, and then a bye week, but then still Houston and Carolina. You're going to learn a lot about what the Raiders have in them in that thing. I mean, if they can get out of that 2-1, that would be great.
The beneficial there too is you have Carolina and Buffalo coming across country for the Raiders, so that's
true.
That's big in itself. Houston and Denver. Houston, you can say a little bit, but Denver, you know, that's always a rivalry in itself. That should be a good game. You know, I don't expect much out of Houston this year. Not getting into that show. I don't expect much. So I think they can definitely go, you know, at least 2-2 out of that stretch. So that should be no problem.
The beginning part is the important part for us this year.
Yeah, but absolutely, in my opinion, I think the Raiders are all coming. So
absolutely, that's what youth will do for you.
Well, that's all the time we have for the Oakland Raiders today. We want to thank Ron Dorsey for coming out. His busy schedule, taking time out. Ron, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Pop the hat on. That's right. Got the Oakland hat on. So thanks for watching. We appreciate it. We got some good things coming.
Make sure you're following us on Twitter @SportsBoxShow. Share your thoughts. Let us know what you want to hear about. And let us know if we're just totally off base. That's okay too. We want to know what you want to know from us.
Well, we know we're off base. We just hopefully don't have any fans tell us we're off base. Because we want you to keep watching and subscribe. Remember, @SportsBox, the only opinion that matters. Right here, baby. Thanks for watching. See ya.
Don't forget to subscribe.